the most miraculous things, miracles beyond miracles, like that of my friends that were like gonna be dead, are supposed to be long gone 20 years ago, and they're still here. And they go back, and the smartest doctors in the world can't explain it, right? And so it's hard to deny. So you go from a place of, nah, this don't make any sense, this is a little weird, right, to it's undeniable. I first heard of Medjugorje just before I came here. So I didn't, I knew, my son lived here. My son lived in Comunidad Chinacalo. And so he was here, and I definitely heard about it first through community. I would have to say that probably hearing about the apparitions and the visionaries, I probably was a little skeptical. And I think I was even skeptical when I finally came here, right? I was here, I came to do an experience in community with my son. I'm not sure if I was a believer in what was going on or what had transpired, but I was definitely a believer that something very special was happening here, right? I mean, anytime you go anywhere and everything that's going on around you is related to the Blessed Mother and to Jesus and to our faith, right? And people, you see lines down the street for people to go to confession, then you know you're in a special place, right? Like my first experience of going up Aberration Hill, and my first experience was actually carrying someone up the hill with the guys from community. And it was, I was nervous, I was concerned, I was a true American. I was like, what is going on here? How come nobody has fixed this ground so that it's easier to walk on, right? Like, somebody should put in some railings or some lights, or like, you know, that's the American way, right? We want to change everything. And so I was petrified going up that hill carrying a human being that couldn't walk, right? And they were seat belted into a chair with these 10-foot poles, and I'm holding on for dear life, and I'm trying to find my footing, and I'm with my son and these young, strong men, right? And it was very, the experience was very special. It meant a lot to me to be able to do that for another human being. It meant a lot to me. It really, it touched me in a way that started to chip away at what I thought about this place. And so I was here for, I think, 2 weeks, 10 days, and I saw a lot, and I met a lot of people. People that their lives had completely been transformed, right? That walked away from everything to be here, right? Sold everything and just left everything and came here to live. And I was like, these are smart people. Like, these are not people that are not smart. These are sophisticated people, right? The joy in their face, the gleam in their eye, that look of that faithful people have in their eyes is a different look that I don't see anywhere else from anyone else, right? And so, you know, I think I left here after that 2 weeks. I left there, I was very different. I was, you know, I just spent 2 weeks with my son, who I hadn't spent time with in years, and we had a lot of healing happen for us here, and so it had a very, it was special to me. So then I came back again. We came, my son and I and my wife and my daughter and her boyfriend, we all came for the youth festival. I was asked, my son and I were asked to come and give our testimonies. And it was beautiful, right? And then it was another sort of block in the building for me, right? and then leaving and going, and a lot of me coming to believe and coming to have a sense of understanding, because it's not really a lot. You can't really, it's beyond your comprehension, right? You can't just really understand it, right? It's big, it's huge, right? And so I go back to America, and it grows on me away from it all. And I think about it and I talk about it, and then I meet people that have had the most miraculous things, miracles beyond miracles, like that of my friends that were like gonna be dead, are supposed to be long gone 20 years ago, and they're still here. And they go back, and the smartest doctors in the world can't explain it, right? And so it's hard to deny. So you go from a place of, this don't make any sense, this is a little weird, right, to it's undeniable. Explain it to me. Like, the only thing that happened, the common denominator between at least two people that I know that were supposed to be long gone many years ago, right? The common denominator is this place. I met another woman yesterday who's had brain cancer, was supposed to be dead, came here in a wheelchair, left her on her own 2 feet. Deny it. Deny it if you want. Try to make, make it into a coincidence, make it into something else. But when the smartest doctors in the world from the supposed best hospitals in the world say, it's a miracle, there's no other explanation for it, it's a miracle. You were supposed to be dead. Yeah, I would say that my experience wasn't a white light type of experience that some people have had, and I know many people have had those kind of experiences. And it seems weird for me to say mine is more of a learned variety, but I'm not that smart, so I didn't really learn anything. I unlearned a bunch of stuff, right? I stopped looking for physical, tangible things that I could touch, and I found people that I could touch that are still alive, that they will tell you with every bit there who they are as a human being. The only reason that they're alive is because they came to this place, and a miracle happened for them. I am I'm a little undisciplined by nature, right? But God has seen fit to put a woman in my life that is not that way. Or we are very different in many different respects, right? And so, I think the journey overall has put me in a place where I might be more inclined to think, instead of just like being angry, right? Just, being married and spending your life with one person can be challenging, right? And I find myself, instead of getting upset sometimes, because sometimes we still get upset, right? No, we're not perfect. But wondering instead, or praying for my wife instead of getting upset. And I feel like this place and my faith journey overall has everything to do with that, life is life. There's a lot going on in the world, right? And we're coming out of unprecedented times, and I don't know if we'll, as a society, I don't know if we'll ever look at anything the same way, But for a lot of people, it was terrible and difficult and all, and for me, it wasn't. That wasn't my experience, I found myself playing cards with my family, my wife and children, and I hadn't done that in, I don't know how many years, right? With everything, you're so busy. Everything is go, go, go. You got to get. And then everything just came to a complete standstill. And when you can either be who you profess to be and be more faithful, or you can be petrified and afraid, and we chose the path of faith.